can't comb over climate change. We're going to post that. And I also want to say, if you help, we will. And also, if you vote for these people and you put them in, we flip the Virginia State House, I promise they'll send the money down here to fix that noisy fan. Very quickly, because I know you guys have busy days and you want to be with your families, myself included. And that is that, when I want to get involved in candidacies, things that are not issue-oriented or raising money for the arts or raising money for education, something that is right out there and boldly about politics, about partisan politics, that's a tough thing to do these days. And I have certain resources I use, chief among them is People for the American Way. I'm on their board, I make a phone call, I say, if it's a trip where I got to overnight it, I'm going to leave my family, I'm going to go down to Texas for a race or go out to California. But if it's a day trip like this, where I'm going to go to Pennsylvania or Massachusetts, and I'm going to go in and get out the same day, I'm going to go home tonight. I talked to Michael Keegan, we talked about Virginia. And he painted for me in a very tight way, in a very concise way rather, what's going on here and how you're 2 votes away, 2 seats away from flipping both houses here, how close you are to turning this legislature in the direction it should go in. Not just in terms of the core issues that all of these people represent, individually and together. It's going to be good not only for the people of the state of Virginia, it's not only going to be good for Virginians, but when you talk about this Equal Rights Amendment thing, I got to tell you, I'm from a generation of men who, I'm older now, and in my lifetime, that's become just necessary. That's become something that we have to do. You can't wake up every day and think that women are going to be treated differently from men. We have to have a federal law. We have to have the passage of the Equal Rights Amendment in this country in order for people to get that is likely a byproduct of this legislature going blue. The other thing I want to mention is that, the other side, and I have some Republican friends, not many, but I have some Republican friends. And there are some very, very worthwhile public servants who happen to be Republicans. And but in the current climate we're in, and in some of the races we've seen here in Virginia, it's the Republicans playing their old game, which is a fear-driven game. They instill fear in people about immigration and about the cost of this and about we're not spending enough money on this and we need to do this and less of this. And all of it adds up to oceans, droves of people being left behind and not being cared for, especially when it comes to medical care, when it comes to immigration and things like that. And what I want to say is here in this race, you have such a clear choice. You have 3 people in this room, all of whom, and I'm not saying this, I don't know them, I just met them, but I read about them, and they fit into a template that I see very often when I go around the country, and that is 3 people who all could be doing something else for a living, and be very happy and be very successful in channeling their caring and their knowledge and their patriotism and their desire to help other people through some other job. Running for office is a pain in the you-know-what. I'm sorry, I didn't say it. She's going to run for something one day. What is your name? Lily what?
Lily Tiplin.
Lily Tiplin? Mm-hmm. And how old are you?
10.
You're 10. So 25 years from now, Lily Tiplin for president in 2045. But all of them could be doing something else and putting themselves through the paces of this kind of thing, electoral politics, and the rigors of that, and the difficulties of it. It's tough to raise money and go out there and all these things they say about you and the way they attack you, your opponents, especially the Republicans. It's all about electoral nullification. I got to get you not to vote for this person by dirtying them up and so forth. But here they are, brave. They got their chin out. They're ready to go. They want to fight that fight. They want to represent you. And I want you to do me a favor, and that is asking for money is tough everywhere you look. If someone asks me what's one of the biggest evolutions in our country in my lifetime, one of them is there's a lot of things the government used to do that they don't do anymore. They can't afford it. So private individuals have their hand out asking you for money all the time. For the arts, for education, for this medical cause, for this social problem, this policy. But I would like all of you to consider giving what you can to this, to whatever your race is. And also, if it's hard for you, as it is for me sometimes, I will say that my friends stay my friends because I don't ask them for money. But for you to, even if it's an email, if that phone call is a little too awkward, then in an email you say, hey, would you consider giving something? Or at the very least, would you consider voting for this person? We need to send those ripples through the pond. That message has got to go out. You have to email your friends, email your friends, email your friends as often as you can. I said to them, if you're like me, I'll be on my computer, and I'll be on my computer for 2 hours in the wee hours of the night if I can't sleep, trying to find the sneakers I want to buy. I'll be looking online for 2 hours trying to find these sneakers I want that are the right sneakers. And what I'm asking you is, if you're like me, take 10 minutes of that time off. Yes. Take 10 minutes of that time you might be spending doing, we all have a limited amount of time, God knows, but take 10 or 15 minutes of that time that you might be doing something else, and email your friends and say, please vote for one of these 3 candidates who is in your district. Because you have people here who, all 3 of them represent one thing. They're exactly what you want in office. Right? Yes. Yes. They're exactly what you need. Remember, Lily Tiplin for president.